Splash. Nothing changes for them. They don't even need to necessarily win this game. They just need to continue to outscore Pixie, Marius, and Vanya, who are also uncontested at the OXR HQ. And the most insane thing about this all is it was Queasy in that last game that ended Marius, Vanya, and Pixie's run. They not only pushed over to their side of the map, they chased them down and sent them back to the lobby.
Completely intercepted, completely ruined Vanya's game plan for his team. But Vico, a little bit of off-spawn domination taking place here. He's got a big elimination onto Yuma. Blixie and Beto are not with him, though. Coyota still looking to chase Vico out. And Vico nearly gets the better end of that trade, but he will fall. Beto, Vico, and Blixie are out of the running. But for Coyota and Rise, there's still a lot of heavy lifting to be done.
Asia on top. A battle throughout 12 games, and as the dust settles, they will be the last ones laughing and immediately set their eyes onto two different teams to try to continue to accumulate that early game surge. But they have to be careful. His teammate is on the other side, and they are still down Yuma. They have to figure out a way to backtrack, but they have no time. Pablo, Chino, they're already trying to taste down Asia's best.
Hello? Can't really do much of anything from this position. He's just got to stay side by side to Hero currently, but Chino, Pablo, and Ferdoxy, they've already got 3 eliminations on Chino alone. And Ferdoxy still keeping an open eye out for where Halat is headed next. Hero and his teammate glad to be far away from Chino, Pablo, and Ferdoxy, but these guys could be the real menaces of this lobby. They're just going to continue to try and get a clean sweep for everyone that comes into their path of fire here. Ferdoxy and Pablo really distributing some pain right now, and Hero, he just doesn't have anything to try and prevent himself from being taken out. Up-ball mix and focus. They took notice of what was going down, though. They decided to come crashing down on top of Chino, Pablo, and Ferdoxy, but Jacob, this is a box fight that I don't know if Chino's necessarily prepared to take it up, but he's got so many splashes. He'll be back to full HP in no time.
And this is a team right now to start the game. I know they have 411 points, but they were at 399. Chap, Savage, and Reason, 403 above them. I dropped Hadi and Cammy, 434, and then even Ping Walks and Malibu at 441. If they continue to play in this pace, get these eliminations, and make it deep into the end game, they could overtake some teams on their way up the top of the leaderboard for pride, glory, and line in their pockets with that much more money, what they came for, as Ferdoxy continues to move forward, not slowing down, and Havad is going to go down.
And Ferdoxy's kind of been calling it out, even in the events leading up to this weekend. We know that we're contested. We know it's going to be tough. Winning likely out of the question for that trio, but they can still put on a strong performance to see what more prizing they can possibly secure.
Seti, Epco, Panzer, 506, only 6 points shy of Pix, Darm, and Demas. It was honestly not too far away from their current drop spot, but you're seeing how stacked the leaderboard is when you kind of drop down outside of that top 2, or even top 3, 4 for that matter. So it's going to take a good amount of eliminations if some of these teams on the outside wants to punch into the top 5, but better late than never could be the final opportunity that they have. As we continue to look around the map, seeing a lot of the same strategies going down as some of our previous games.
Haven't seen a whole lot of reason in chat. Mr. Savage trying to take up a surge-based position, though, up against Swizzy, Queasy, and Merstache. Whether or not this actually pans out in their favor is yet to be determined, but chat, Mr. Savage, Reason, definitely have had their highlight moments throughout this tourney.
Yeah, a team that's definitely had their ups and downs, and still, we talk about their story making it here. Barely almost missing out on a chance at the grand finals, but it was a 1-point differential. They made it in. All they needed was a shot. 2 points. They made it in to qualify for the Global Championship, and now Savage is on the cusp of a potential top 5 if he can perform well with some eliminations in this game. King Phaser, PH Sin. They faltered. They fell out of the top 10, but they're just one placing down inside of that top 11.
Oh, no. Pixie, Vanya, Marius, do they even have any idea of the intention that lies behind 3 Marius slipping. Marius racing across overhead. Right now, they're just trying to lock in their surge. They're not really anticipating anybody to be nearby. And even with Vanya overhead, they're so preoccupied with just trading out these bloom battles. Marius, he's split apart from the rest. Ryu, Snowy, Sod, a singular 3-2-1 could be the difference here. Is Marius gonna be able to stay strong?
You see, they didn't want to give up their position. We saw Clicks, Higgs, and Yamzo try to do the same thing to Kanata, looking all around. Marius does not even know, and you can see his loadout. He's the one for his team that's getting all of that extra material to replenish what they use for that surge base. He's getting all of those extra heals to consolidate them inside of their tower, but he is also the one that is exposing himself the most. Snowy, Sod, Ryu, they were able to close the distance and get inside of the OXR HQ.
We've got another perspective. Malibuka, Ping, and Walks here at Kappa Kappa Factory. They are just chasing down Pix, Darm, and Demas. They don't want to allow these guys the opportunity to try and maintain their position within the top 5. Malibuka, Ping, and Walks going on to the aggressive forefront here, but it's Ping who's opening up big shots here onto Demas, forcing him to pull further back inside of the box here. Malibuka, Ping from a separate direction. Demas, Darm, Pix, they're trying to keep the hopes alive for themselves. Rookies of the year, essentially, Jacob, but they still have to break through these veterans.
Malibuka's using his experience not to get caught off guard in these situations, just trying to spray down a couple of their piece control, get them to expose themselves. But right now, it is going to be a 3v3, but you see at the bottom of your minimap, 2 teams from the Kappa Kappa Factory that could be looking for Surge to try to interrupt this one as Demas continues to scramble around. Oh no, 17 HP, 2 builds left. Walks continues to put down the pressure. Good thing for him. I do believe it was Darm reunited in the same box trying to hold the coverage, but that leaves out Pix to go down. They isolated the 1v1. Malibuka, Pings, and Walks are hunting down 3rd place.
Darm, Demas, and Pix might be phenomenal fighters, but Malibuka, Ping, and Walks simply having the material counts in their favor. They've completely shut off Darm's entrance back towards Demas. Malibuka trying to see if he can make that wing flank approach. Malibuka, though, big tag, but an even bigger one on the Darm. Darm's gonna be put down. Elimination after elimination now as Demas meets his demise. 3rd place might be exclusively up for grabs.
It definitely is with how tight that leaderboard is. Pick Darm and Demas. I just want to give them a huge pat on the back from underdogs to top dogs. These guys looking like a serious threat. Vanya, Pixie, and Marius. We saw that team floating around the OXR HQ. They did not get any opportunity to pounce onto Marius, so they're going to survive and live to tell the tale and hopefully shoot up that leaderboard.
I did see Vanya at the very last moment, though. He was already setting up for the pre-edit, so if Snowy, Brad, and Ryu aren't careful, they're going to find themselves getting caught completely off guard. Seti, he might not be a fan favorite this weekend, but he's still looking to try and take over. iDrop, Cammy, Hadi, it's teammates, or former teammates, I should say, just looking to gauge who really got the better end of the deal.
Kind of decisions, crash pads, launch pads. And with Seti, Yapko, and Panzer right in front, that is the team currently in 4th place, 506 points, just shy of getting into another big money spot of the top 3. Swizzy, Mustache, Queasy, even with the zone pulling so far towards the south, they know it's very, very important for them to get their Storm Surge first. And then they throw one of those upgraded launch pads down. They hit the Flowberry Fizz, and they cover over 1,000 meters quickly. But as we tune in, Cold is already down. Peterbot on the back foot, but it's actually Ritual that fell. Him and Cold, the 2 best fraggers in all of NA, have a chance to fight back. But it's Malibuka, Walks, and Pings on the other side. Seti, Panzer, Yapko, they're in the mix as well, and one more team towards the north.
And a sandwich between some of EU's best and Peterbot Cold. They know what kind of a pickle they're truly in. Peterbot's got a couple of pre-edits set up already, but he knows he just needs to escape. Every dog has his day, and this one, he doesn't want to find himself losing the bone that was thrown him in the last lobby because they got a better placement than what they'd expected.
But, obviously they're going to try to crash pad up. They just dodged disaster somehow. Peterbot He gets the audio cue. Great damage towards the backside. Just a sliver of HP remaining. But you see them kind of second-guessing the decision. They don't know exactly who that is hiding there. So them being 2 versus the 3, they have to figure out if they want to push this or not. But a good opening opportunity with damage. They're creeping closer and closer.
And whether the crowd likes it or not, Peterbot and Cold, Ritual, they've actually had a pretty incredible day 2 performance, Jacob. They have completely leapfrogged their way up the leaderboard, and they're clearly still intent on just trying to see how far they can really go. They've gotten so much prizing from NAC throughout the entirety of this year, but now on the global stage, Peterbot, Cold, as a duo, they might still be looking to bring Ritual back into this one.
Yeah, you got to think that they do have that reboot card. They're kind of beelining it over towards Dystopia, but they have to be careful. Bakapars and Pump are already there trying to get scraps. To go back on over to Rangers Ruin. Prodoxy, Pablo, Chino. They got the boss down. The queen is no more, and you're seeing what that does. Not only do they get that OXR rank, but multiple slurp juices, splashes that they can use. They already have 419 points. They can only go up from here.
But we're looking at one of the only teams in this lobby that's truly capable of finding those huge elimination wins. And still, Jacob, this is one of the best loot loadouts that we have seen Prodoxy working with. He even admitted to it yesterday on socials. He's like, look what happens when I finally get a loadout to work with. And again, even though it's the last lobby, they have 0 hopes of slowing down here.
And every placing down that leaderboard just gets more and more money, I should say upside. You got 450,000 for first place, 300,000 for second, 225,000 for third, and that's just kind of a showing of like every placing you go up, even if you might not be able to win, can be a life-changing amount of money. As Peterbot's going to go down to Victor V yet again. Victor V, that's like his second time or even more in this tournament, taking down Pete himself. Even with Ritual back, a sliver of HP, forcing out the splashes. Cold and him have to reunite and figure out a way to get their teammate back.
Victor V might be the real Peterbot counter. Now that he's on 0 ping, people forget Victor V, when he's playing on West, he's tackling on 60 ping, so now we're getting to watch an elite young fragger on the come up. So excited to see where this goes next, because even though the weekend hasn't necessarily shaped up to the position they wanted to be in, they've still got a lot of fight left in them.
That's kind of how they have, bro. He just trying to fire off. He's just hoping that his aim is better than the distance they can cover, but no! No! Fall damage! Basically taking himself out. The full trio looking to run him down. They do have a chance, though. We saw Cold, we saw Ritual go back to Dystopia. Does he go and see Swizzy, Mustache, and Queasy yet again accessing the bunker? Not too far away from the hive, just outside of Rangers Ruin and Foxy Floodgates. And they now have the Mythic. They have the Medallion. They have the Exotic. And they have time here to let every other team pass them on the zone and fight each other.
Victor V just picking up where he left off. Unfortunately, Ritual just not healthy enough to stay on both of his feet. He's just going to be tackled. It's only Cold left alive from that trio, and now Victor V, he'll have the opportunity to heal. But not only that, 4 eliminations, it's so much surge. And Jacob, realistically, Epic, he's trying to help make the calls alongside Paper. They still want to keep pushing forward, but Ryu, he's going to bring down Epic Will. Victor V now looking to give a little bit of backup here to a support player, but Victor V, he's stuck in a 1 versus 2 situation. They're trying to close in onto the primary fragger here, but Victor V, Pop's got to be going crazy, watching his son pop off in the crowd.
Without any builds, I'm not too worried. He does have that medallion, the double jump. It also negates fall damage as he quickly reunites with Paper on the other side. That's what they're going to start thinking about, how many builds that they have, what do they need to get, but they don't have time. They're immediately getting jumped on 1v3, multiple angles. Victor V still making plays, slides out of those builds. Paper still stuck. He's still trying to figure out an answer to the onslaught that's thrown his way. He continues to fight back. Ryu, though, almost full HP when it comes to the shield as well. Paper, no, not Victor V is down. The full trio is out of here.
little bit of tragedy has struck there for Victor V, Paper, and Epic Whale, but they still did enough. They left Cold in such an awful position. He's still got to try and work his way out of that location. Gino, Pablo, and Prodoxy, look at the elimination, Jacob, already at 8. They have won their goal in sight, and that is to jump, force their way into the top 5.
There's only one way to get some points in this game. You cannot expect the teams above you on that leaderboard to go down early. The level of competition inside of the top 10, I feel like, has never been higher. So you have to start to take matters into your own hands. And this is one of those teams, for Doxy specifically, that will play to win. He will make or break himself. He's not going to go down with at least trying. And that's how they found those 8 eliminations. But Clix and Higgs, you see them lurking around, trying to grab those extra bandages, the heals. This is going to be a 2-tick zone.
Clix, Higgs, they might just be looking to try and play for the reboot. They have no idea that Chino, Pablo, and Prodoxy have already made their way back over to Rangers Ruin. They are creeping up on them. And Higgs, Clix, they're just so exposed. Holding my breath watching this, Jacob, because I know it's only a matter of time before 3, 2, 1 comes through, but Higgs, he nearly puts up the defense, but it's just not enough. Higgs is going to be knocked, Clix scattered, left to try and fend for himself, but with 3 healthy players out of EU's powerhouse, they'll be put down, and Clix eliminated. Chino, Pablo, and Prodoxy hit their first double digit.
This might be game 12, but they're not out of gas just yet. When it comes to eliminations, Taco, they have 40 points on straight eliminations alone. We haven't even touched those placement points yet. They're shooting up the leaderboard faster than ever. I talked about the prize money differential, and that's exactly what they're after. Canada Rapid and Bolt's the same thing for them. To start the game, they were in about 5th place, but hot on their heels. There's so many teams trying to get aggressive to get those points. See in the distance, 2nd place, Vanya, Nereus, and Pixie. Not going for the high ground just yet. 6th zone, more than half of the game left still to play.
This is where players really have to test their composure, the mental fortitude, the emotional control. It's so easy to want to hit the autopilot if you're in Queasy's position. You start to see the lights. You start to think, that could be us, our name. The crowd is chanting, but the same case scenario for Vanya as well. They're still looking to try and overtake first place. And if for Stash, Swizzy, and Queasy get lobby focused, that could be the ultimate difference maker. But instead, Swizzy fires back. It's going to be a takedown. The elimination couldn't have come at a better time.
And that's 4 more points for them, inching themselves closer and closer to it being mathematically impossible for anybody to catch up. But again, no placement points just yet. That can truly shake things up, especially since they have a max pull across the map and a few teams trying to make and mirror that same rotation. First comes the crash pad, then the Flowberry Fizz, and they can continue that rotation until they make the zone. But Taco, more than half of this zone is over open water.
Not only that, but Swizzy, Queasy, and Merstache, they are white line crash padding straight towards the next zone. The fact that nobody has taken a shot at them along the way, it's a bold maneuver, but it pans out heavily in their favor, and they're continuing to scale their way down. We saw Ritual get eliminated yet again. Sasser striking for some teams in front of Queasy, but better still, Seti, Panzer, and Yapko. They've still got a lot to settle here in this lobby. They find another elimination onto Adapter. Valor already taken care of by Visuals and a Minish, but Braids on the other side of these walls. Seti can't continue pressing forward. They're stuck inside their own build. That is until Yapko finds the elimination onto Visuals.
Yeah, much needed elimination as well. They were only 8 damage above the threshold. That's not a feeling of comfortability at all. Now they go from 300, but dropping back down low. That just goes to show how active this lobby actually is, but they continue to steamroll. Merstache, Swizzy, and Queasy find their 3rd elimination of the game, taking down NA West.
And you know that Vanya thinks the Amadius, they can see it all in the elimination feed. 3 additional additional elims for Swizzy, Mustache, and Queasy. They have so much ground to cover just from placement points alone, and the elims are doing them no favors whatsoever. But Mustache, Swizzy, it's like Queasy told them, just be off the leash, do whatever you want, just find those eliminations.
Up there it goes, School. Trying to drop down low. He's the first one to get knocked. Sauco followed in that trend. He was trying to be a hero, but ends up a 0, leaving Arc all by himself. That's a ton of pressure for one of the youngest, one of the most aggressive players on his region, but active surge for Pars, Pump, and Baka, 136 below the damage threshold. It does not matter if they have high ground if they can't utilize it, and nobody's giving them any peaks. So they're gonna go ahead and utilize that Flowberry Fizz to get a triple heal going out.
They're stuck looking to heal instead of being able to look for tags. Malabuka, Wax, and Ping put on so much pressure, but now that they've made their rotation, we're a little bit exposed. Not sure that was enough for Baka, Pars, and Pump to get across the finish line there for the third threshold. And now the medkit comes out. Baka doesn't have anything to work with. It's just those couple of crash pads. He might as well leave them somewhere for his teammate to pick up. But Pars, just looking at this loadout, Jacob, he's got barely anything to work with.
0 ammo in his AR. It's literally just 19 shots in that Wrecker revolver. Luckily for him, he at the bare minimum has Pump on his team. But underneath, sharks in the ocean. They're ready to take a bite out of NA West, but Malabuka's trying to beat him first. They crash pad towards the high ground, and they solidify it while Surge reactivates. Down goes Pump. Pars is now officially on the clock, which runs out, and he's out of the game for good.
But these audio cues aren't doing Malabuka's team any favors, because Prodoxy, Chino, Pablo directly underneath, more than happy to see if they can close in. They knew that there were weakened trios directly above them, but they just want to see how bad off are they really. They're still trailing underneath, but Wax, Malabuka attempting to hold height. They might only be a duo, Jacob, but they have so much surge.
62 points. That's the difference between first and second place. And the time is truly running out. They have to make sure Queasy, Mustache, and Swizzy somehow go down outside of the top 8 as they continue to move through. It's becoming more and more impossible. There's 600 plus damage above the threshold. They're looking down to the backside of the zone, trying to figure out where the weakness is for any of these trios trying to rotate in. Even with Kanata down below, they're lurking, no visual audios. But if you look at the sky, that's Marius, Vanya, and Pixie, but they lose Vanya throughout this mix. They're on that middle ground where all the chaos ensues.
Vanya just barely managing to start to get his life back up to a healthy level. Swizzy, Mustache, Queasy though, they see the high ground. They're starting to go for the chop. Malabuka gonna be forced to drop eventually, but can Malabuka even get down in the first place? I don't think so. He's a victim of the lobby now. Swizzy, Queasy, they don't hesitate. They're immediately surging upwards. They know height domination is where the thrill will be tested.
On the high ground right now, they're getting challenged, but they're fighting for it all. It's Pixie, it's Marius, and Vanya. If they want the win, this is the moment right here. Swizzy goes down. Mustache has fallen. It is all up to Queasy and Taco. There are more than enough points still left on the board for them to overtake the first place spot, but they have to survive. Vanya goes down. Marius is gonna have to pop that slurp juice and reunite with Pixie.
But where's Queasy? Pixie and Marius, they're so incredibly low. They're not gonna be able to save Vanya. They'll at least get everything that he had to offer at the final moments. But Marius, Pixie, as a duo, they've got to find Queasy. They don't know where he's gone off to. Seti in the low ground. If Marius and Pixie aren't careful, they might run smack dab into the center of where all the congestion is building at. But they're crash padding up. They're trying to get back on the height. They know what is in front of them, and they want to take it by force.
They already have second place locked in. It's all or nothing. Down goes PH Sid, but no! Marius is now down as well. Pixie with the pressure on his shoulders. You got to remember though, Queasy is down. They are 50 points shy. He needs to win, but he gets denied. Mustache, Queasy, and Swizzy have done it.
It was the final moment. It was going to be so bittersweet, no matter the outcome for the gentle mates here, Jacob. But Queasy has finally overcome. The GOAT debate has been settled. He is the GOAT of Fortnite. two GOATs with them. It's Swizzy and Merstash.
But there's still hundreds of thousands of dollars split between these teams still left alive. A good chunk of them at the top of the leaderboard, including Pablo, who's trying to have that solo run, but that one gets ended, and rather quickly as he was by himself. That was Seti and Yapko. They're one of 3 teams left alive. Panzer's trying to move in, 20 HP. He's quickly running out of builds. Seti as well, but he's gonna go out. Cammy, his invitational partner, has done it again. He ends his show. He said, no, you will not cast me. You will not take my money, as Cooper and Curly are still down below. 2v3 situation, 3v1. I drop Dari and Cammy win the final game of the day.
What an impossibly crazy finish. Nobody could have possibly anticipated that it would all come down to this final match in day 1. We saw Queasy, Swizzy, and Merstash leading the charge. They had such a monumental lead over the entirety of the lobby, but it still all came down to the wire. They knew it was a marathon from the get-go, but they sprinted across the finish line to claim the title as your 2025 Global Champions.
A year-long journey just to get to this point. 12 games, almost 700 points, 3 victory royales. They have done it.
It almost seems as if it hasn't even fully keyed in. To be a global champion!
It feels nice. I can't believe it. Still, like, we've been playing this year. We played so great every grand. We should have won every grand, but now this is the day when we won.
You might not have won an FNCS major final in 2025, but that doesn't matter right now. You are the best team in the world. Queasy, you are the greatest IGL Fortnite has ever seen. Can you believe it?
I mean, after today's performance, I don't know about that, but I mean, we pulled through, we got it, so that's all that matters.
Well, talk to me about today. Yesterday, we were all saying this trophy was surely yours, but this morning, those first 3 games, they didn't go your way. Did you think you were going to have to settle for second place again?
No, I was playing only for first. That's why we did what we did at the game 11, and I mean, shout out to them. Because we went into this like thinking like 99% we're gonna win, and it pushed it to the last game. So shout out to Vanix Trio. Like, I don't even know, they did amazing.
Guys, I'm with Swizzy. Je peux pas vous le dire autrement. Swizzy a les larmes aux yeux. Swizzy est ému. Regardez, Swizzy. I saw the real tears in your eyes. How do you feel, Swizzy?
I feel amazing. Last year I couldn't play with my duo. Now I'm here and I win.
Cette année c'était la bonne pour lui, enfin la bonne. Il est tellement ému, Swizzy. Good luck for the future.
Guys, I have to ask, what makes this a world-beating team?
Them too, just fragging ability. I mean, they solo clutched the game 11 with 2v3. I don't know. I try to do my best. Today, I feel like I underperformed by a lot, but they pulled through and they got me the win.
Well, you're not going to think about that anymore because you guys have a trophy to lift. Guys, please take your position. To Le Mans, please, one more time, give it up for your 2025 FORTNITE Global Champions. It's Queasy, Swizzy, and Merstash!
cannot believe it. In this moment, your global champions, Queasy, Swizzy, Murstache, taking it all the way to game number 12. To think, Kelly, at the beginning of this year, this trio formed, and we thought, what the heck are you talking about? This sounds like a high-caliber trio. To qualify, to bring it here, to push everyone else on land to their very limits, and now to walk away. Global champions. Guys, how does it feel? Swizzy, I want to start with you, bro. Any time that you guys have performed well and the camera's been on you, you feel like a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve. Those emotions flood through you, smile big. How does this moment feel right now?
It's so amazing. I think I did the most mentality in our team. Like, I saw their face our first game, and they say, like, guys, lock in.
Lock in. Dude, and you said yourself, right, the fact that past times you've not been able to play with your actual teammates. The moment you get to play with your actual trio, you win the global championship.
Yeah.
Queasy, going all the way back to the Invitational, so close to claiming that first place spot, but you walk away in second. Last year, this same situation happens, and finally, you claim your rightful spot as a global champion. What has that journey been like starting all the way back in 2022?
I don't even know. I mean, from Invitational, literally like before game 12, I said, guys, please, let's not make it the same thing again. And I mean, we did it finally, so it's a crazy feeling.
Murstache, brother, I mean, you've been hearing it for 2 days now. They see you on screen, this crowd goes crazy. Did that push you forward? Did that make you more nervous in any way?
Not gonna lie, I want to say thanks to everyone who came here, who supported us, and because it meant so much for us, I think it gave me confidence, at least the first day. So yeah, I want to thank to everyone who came here and supported us.
All right, we got to talk about essentially the winning moment for you guys in game 11. I want to know what was going through the comms, whose idea was it, and how were you able to execute it?
Basically, half break, we went to VOD review, we watched zones, we were figuring out, because day one, our game plan was to get medal in bunkers. Day two, the bunkers were gone. 2 of the games we ran for it, they got taken before we could get there, and kind of messed up our game. And after I watched the VODs, we were supposed to go Foxy, but I said if it pulls the same, I saw Vanya tanking like Medmiss and Storm, and then padding. So I try to like go towards him and wait for him to pad and kill him out the air. That was the plan, but yeah.
I mean, obviously it worked out in your favor going for second place right there. Queasy, that is why you are regarded as one of the best IGLs in the world.
I mean, and look, Queasy, I don't know why you're down on yourself right now. I mean, Swizzy, Murstache, this guy's been your IGL, and he's not giving himself the props that he rightfully has earned. I saw you walk up to that trophy and shed a tear. I saw you smile big when you lifted it. Brother, you're a global champion, and not only that, you've got EU their first global championship title right here, right now. Leon, make some noise for Swizzy, Queasy, Murstache! Forever in history, you guys have made a moment in Fortnite. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna let you guys go. Take this trophy, get out of here, go celebrate global champions. Congratulations again. You can leave your headsets here. Get out of here, guys. Come on, Leo, make some more noise!
Congratulations, come here. Oh my God. Good question. Good job, you guys.
Head that way right there. Yo, congrats, Queasy. Man, I cannot believe it. I cannot believe, once again, Fortnite does it, Kelly. Game number 12, pushed to the absolute brink. It was won in game number 11, right? Taking it as far to landing on Vanya and basically putting them in a situation, hey, because you know, you think about it, right? Minnie, you would think about, okay, maybe game 12 is that time. But no, they're one step ahead. Game 11, Let's push them to the very brink, game 11, because that gives us game 12 as a buffer. And because of that, Mini, they are now global champions.
Incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible stuff. Think back to Queasy, Chapter 2, Season 6, FNCS win. His first FNCS win. Then, of course, we go to the Invitational. The all-important moment that we remember from that time. Second place in that tournament. Made a big play, didn't work out. Then he goes on to get 6 out of 12 wins in Grand Finals with Vino. A record-breaking performance. And then last year with Thomas HT coming so close to taking home the title. He has done it. And I couldn't be more happy for him. He deserves it so much. And it's the final thing ticked off on his list. He hasn't got the LAN win yet, Kelly. But now, he's finally...
I mean, this is a story that hasn't even just been building up from the start of this year. It's been building up since the start of Fortnite. Yep. And there is no person better to finally grab that global champion than Queasy. Everyone, even before day one, before they got the back-to-back victory royales, said that Queasy is the best LAN player in the world. Yep. And he said, let me make honest people out of everyone that is believing in me. And we got to talk to so many people saying, who do you think has to win it all? And Queasy's name was brought up time and time again.
I mean, and again, Queasy, when you wake up tomorrow and you start to doubt yourself, look yourself in the mirror and think, I am a global champion, and let that doubt fade away forever, brother. You guys have done something incredible here. You have made this crowd roar. If there are any M8 fans, you know they're also going crazy. The fact M8 came out in that #1 spot, but don't forget other players, other trios were fighting for that prize money. Let's take a look how things ended. We saw there early on in the game, Pixie fell, but in the end there, it looks like Panzer, Seti, Japko come out in 3rd place. I kept saying, Kanata, now's the moment, but Seti said, hold on. We're going to make sure that Globals 2025 is dominated by EU.
Yeah, what a performance from Seti, Panzer, and Yapko. Really great. They played the meta really well all weekend. Fixed a couple of issues that they might have had. You know, we were looking at them this weekend. They were contested. A lot of people had them written off. But no, they put on an absolute display of excellence all weekend, and really happy for them to get 3rd there.
Listen, as the NA representative on this desk, I do have to give a shout out to Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts, holding it strong in 5th place for North America. And a lot of people said, would you have expected Kanata to be the one to represent NA on top? And I say every time, yes! He is one of the best players in the world, the only player in the world to go to every single grand finals. To see him represent his region like that, it just makes me so happy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, NA, we're gonna have to come together. Okay, group huddle after this, because 2026, we know we're making a return to Europe. We're gonna need to show up there, but it's fine. EU, you guys can have 1. That's fine. We still have 2 at the end of the day. My friends, final kind of closing thoughts after the weekend before we kind of start wrapping up and saying goodbye.
I mean, what a weekend overall. The atmosphere here has been absolutely electric. All the fans here have put on an incredible display themselves, right? Let alone the players on that stage. Every single one of them put everything into preparing for this event, of course, playing this weekend as well in front of a crowd, which at times wasn't necessarily as positive towards some of the players, but they showed grit, they showed determination, and they showed that they can pull through. And this, I think, has been my favorite Globals.
100%. There is so many moving pieces that go into a global championships. Beyond the players, beyond us, there is just so many people involved that want to make sure that we bring the best show possible. And I think we did that this weekend. And a lot of that is due to the incredible fans that we had supporting, making sure that they made so much noise, because they know that the Global Championships only happens 1 time a year. So if it's gonna happen now, we're gonna make some noise.
Oh man, yeah, thank you so much, Leon, for all your love and support. You guys have truly made this something special. Thank you. As we start getting ready to say goodbye, let's get the rest of the crew in here. And of course, you know I want to get the crew, the French commentators who kind of helped bring this whole thing to life in venue. Fortnite fam, thank you so much. A big thank you to the players. A couple things before we go. Don't forget double XP going on till Monday. Hop in, get yourself all that XP. Make sure you play. So much to play for. You heard the news for 2026. It's about to be crazy. But as always, until then, we love you. Keep yourself safe. And we'll see you on that battle bus.
Beep, beep.
Yes.